guys, today I'm going to show you how to make these Tumblr graphic resin pieces. I use these graphics which I printed online. I will leave the link in the description where I found these, so you can also find them on Google. I just stuck them in a Word document and printed them out from that. And now I'm going to show you how I tape them up to go into resin, because if you put them in resin like they are, they will get watermarked and go terrible in the resin. So I put my clear tape, I used the big kind, and put it on the edge of my desk. And then very carefully just put the paper pieces or stickers, depending what you're using, onto the sticky side of the tape. Be careful not to get any air bubbles on it as you do this, so do it very carefully. And then very carefully cut the end of the tape and then very carefully fold it over. It doesn't go right the first time, you just have to be very careful, do it as neat as you can. Don't worry too much about any air bubbles or wrinkles because you can get rid of most of those afterwards. And then you have this. You can cut out your pieces. Be sure to leave around 3mm of an edge around your sticker or your paper cutout, and this will ensure that the resin doesn't seep under the tape and get watermarked. And just to help this even more, you can get rid of any air bubbles, you can smooth out any lines with the edge of your scissors or your nail or something, and you have something that looks like this. So I'm just adding these to my collection. I have lots of these, but I didn't use them all for this video. I took some of them and used some of my resin molds. I checked to see which ones would fit in the molds, and these are the ones that I picked out and the molds that I picked out. I'll leave captions on the screen as to where I got them from. Now mix your resin. I have many resin tutorials about this, so if you don't know how to do resin at all, please check those out. This video is not a tutorial, it's more of a case of I'm expecting you to know about resin basically before you watch this. So please go check out those videos if you don't know what you're doing with resin. So I'm just mixing up my resin. From here on out, I'm basically just following my pastel resin pieces tutorial. So it's basically just that, but instead of stickers, I'm using the graphics. But I decided to show you the process anyway, as a kind of watch me make resin pieces video. And I just place the pieces in very carefully, push them down with my lollipop stick. You can hardly see what I'm doing here, I'm so sorry. My hand just got in the way, but you get the idea. Then I'm blowing out the air bubbles using a straw. You can use a lighter if you're very careful. You can use a heat tool if you have one of those. I just use a straw because it's so much easier. Now when the first layer is dry, I can do my second layer. As you can see, I added some glittery sparkly bits into the first layer after it had gone a bit more tacky. And then I added my second layer once that I had all cured. Using mica powders. You can also use eyeshadow or white ink if you want to as well. This is just for the look I'm going for. You can pretty much do whatever you want, just do what feels natural to you. I'm also putting some glitter in these as well for some colour. But yeah, this is just my technique that I use. You can do any technique you want. I'm adding some pink glitter into the rest of them. I get the glitter online. I pretty much buy everything online, really. I'm mixing all of this inside the mould. It's easiest for me because then I can do different colours in each different mould and I don't have to mix several cups of resin to be able to do this. Just make sure it's mixed in fully, that if you're using ink or if you're using powder, it's all mixed in completely. Then you'll have pieces that look like this when they are dry and they are popped out of the mould. I'm just showing them very quickly here, but you see them properly at the end of the video. As you can see, a couple of them did have watermarks. I think I cut the sellotape too close to the paper, but that's fine because I did cover that up at the end of the video and I'll tell you how I did that as well. These ones are not shiny, as you can see, whereas the other ones are. You can see the difference here. Now that's all down to the mould that you use. Someone asked what the difference was, and you can just see the difference with the mould. One is shiny and one is simply not. So to make the non-shiny pieces shiny again, you dome the top with resin. You have to be very careful with doing this, obviously, to make sure it doesn't spill over the edge, but as you can see, it makes the pieces shiny again, which is awesome. So if you need to dome the tops of your pieces, do that first before doing the bottom, because I just find it easier that way personally. Don't forget to blow out the air bubbles as well. I usually do the tops first than the bottoms because it's easier to fix if it overspills the top first, but not if you overspill the doming on the bottom. So you have to be very careful with the bottom doming. I just added some pearl powders into this resin so it's really nice and pretty, and I domed all of the pieces with the same colour of resin. I just put the resin on the back, spread it about a bit, and there you go. I'm not going into too much detail with this. Again, watch my tutorials, watch other people's tutorials, watch all the tutorials, and you will find out about resin. You can also see that I added eye screws into these pieces. I also have a video on that. I pretty much have a video on every separate step of doing resin. I'm just shortening it down for this video. So here are the pieces. As you can see, I added pearls and rhinestones to these, most of these anyway. I think it just makes them more interesting, especially for this piece. It had it was pretty plain, and it had a big gap at the bottom, so I added a bow, which is very cute. This piece was one of the ones with a watermark, so I covered that up with a big pearl star. A great idea is to cover up any mistakes with pearls and rhinestones and things. Again, this one had a small watermark at the bottom, and you can't see it anymore. This one, the sticker moved up a bit, so I added pearls at the bottom, and it's just balanced it out really nicely. So yeah, that is basically it on the resin pieces. You'll see them all again in my next resin update, of course. If you want to buy any of these pieces, I will be listing most of them in the shop tonight. There are 3 of them I haven't domed the back of yet, and they will go in the shop eventually. And one of the pieces I'm keeping for myself as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not really a tutorial, but like I say, I have tutorials on resin. Just follow those and incorporate your own style with it, and use your own stickers, use your own imagination basically. This is the one I'm keeping for myself, and that's what they look like on the back. Really, really pretty. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.